In this video, I'm going to try to test the taste buds of 30 professional pastry chefs by challenging them to the Masterchef 1-inch cube challenge, but made of chocolate. So 6 different bonbons infused with mystery spices. They spin the wheel, they taste the bonbon and guess what flavor it is. I have a big chocolate event coming up, and it's organized by a very high quality chocolate manufacturing company, Cocoberry, and they had asked me to create a product using their chocolate that we can give to about 40 professional chefs who will be coming to the event. I was thinking, why not make it a friendly competition? What I decided to do was to recreate the Masterchef's 1-inch cube challenge, where they cut 1-inch cubes of foods like cheese, apple, vegetables, and then they blindfold the contestants and they try the 1-inch cube and they guess what the flavor is. But I wanted to make it into a pastry version. So for that, what I thought was to make mini chocolate bonbons enrobed with their premium chocolate. But the twist is this: so we'll have about 6 different bonbons, and they all will be flavored, spiced with different spices. Because all the bonbons will be coated in chocolate, you won't be able to tell visually any difference between them, only by taste. So the pastry chefs who are coming to the event will spin a wheel, a chocolate contraption that I will make, which will be like a roulette table where you spin and then it points to one of the 6 bonbons that we've made, and they go ahead and taste it, and they have to guess using their well-trained taste buds which flavor is it going to be. The spices that we have gone with are star anise, cinnamon sticks, fresh mint, and fresh ginger. And then for the Mexican bonbon, we have cayenne pepper. And for the last one, I had checked, coffee is considered a spice. So yeah. So the first step would be for me to make my ganache. So now that we got all the spices out of the way, explain what we're using, let's get to the interesting part, the expensive part. Chocolate. So we've got premium chocolate. It's like the Rolls Royce of chocolates on the market, one of them. We've got milk chocolate, 41%. So 41% is basically how much cocoa percentage is there. So if it's lower percentage, it's less bitter, and it's higher percentage, it's more bitter, basically. Alunga, 41%. We've got more of the milk chocolate. Another bag. Dark chocolate, 65%. So this is what we'll use to coat our 1-inch mystery cubes. Ooh. And then we have another packet of the dark chocolate, 65%. So yeah, we have a lot of chocolate, but hopefully it's enough. In the ganache cream, the recipe I've got it on my phone so I don't forget, right? So we have cream. The recipe says dextrose, but instead of that I have sugar, cocoa butter, we have milk chocolate, which is what we have shown before, glucose, liquid glucose, or honey, you can use that as well, butter, regular unsalted butter, and yeah, that's basically it. So the method is really simple, super straightforward. I'll heat up the cream. I will heat up the cream together with the glucose and sugar, right? And then once that's heated up, I'll pour it over my chocolate together with the cocoa butter and butter. And to finish it off, I'll use my fancy blender that I've bought but never used. So we have about 990 grams of cream. And then to this, we also have the sugar, which will be 240 grams of sugar, just regular caster sugar. So I'm going to heat this up to 75 degrees Celsius. Yeah. Even though I'm in Canada, I refuse to use Fahrenheit. I'm going to also add the cocoa butter together with the cream and heat it up so that it melts quicker, because I'm afraid, because we have such a large amount of chocolate, if I pour the cream, it won't be hot enough to melt everything. So just to be on the safe side, we're going to add the cocoa butter in here as well. 180 grams of cocoa butter. Give it a little mix to make sure the sugar doesn't burn at the bottom. What I would say is actually, because we're going to infuse first the flavor before we pour it onto the chocolate, I'm going to heat it up until it starts to steam. Take it off the heat and then separate it into containers, add in my different spices, let it sit for some time before I then strain and pour it over my chocolate. Let's get our containers ready for the cream, for different flavors of cream. Alright, we have 3 containers. Ignore the yogurt tub, it's a perfect size as a little jug. Okay, so now we see over here the cream's starting to steam, right? You see the steam coming off? Yeah, okay, well, just trust me. There's steam coming off. And now I'm gonna divide it into different containers, add my spices. Great, so we have made some progress. I've scaled all the spices in each container. We've got cinnamon sticks in here for the cinnamon bonbon, fresh mint leaves, no artificial mint flavor, right? Star anise, that's gonna be a fun one. Fresh ginger, right? I'm looking forward to that. That's gonna be quite refreshing, ginger and chocolate. It's winter now as well, so that's a good combination. Instant coffee powder, and in this one will be the cayenne pepper, which we will add. And because it's a very fine powder, if I use my regular scale, the scale will not be able to pick up the weight. It's going to be too much because I only need a small amount. So that's where my mini drug scale comes on, but it's for cooking drug scale, not cooking drugs. So we're just going for 1 gram. We'll see how it is. Okay, yep. There you go. So there you go. It says 1 gram on the dot, 1.0. So we go into that. I have a scale right here. We're gonna go 285 grams. Yep, there you go. So you can take a look inside. It's nice and nicely infusing with the hot cream. And after some time, I'm gonna strain it before I pour it onto the chocolate. So I'll do the same with the rest of them as well. Whoops. I would say we leave it for 30 minutes or so before we strain them. So obviously if you want a stronger infusion, a stronger flavor, you just add more of it, more of the spice, or you just let it soak longer. So a couple of the spices that's been infusing now, it's been about 35-40 minutes. I'm gonna blitz them up. I'm not blending them completely smooth because I don't want too much of the fine powder ending up in the final ganache. So I'm just gonna give it a little, blitz before I strain, so I get more of the flavor into the ganache. My only concern is actually with the ginger and the cinnamon, because it's cinnamon sticks. When I smell it, I don't get much. And so cinnamon, I'm worried if it's gonna break my blender blades. I'm willing to risk it. Let's see. Yeah, no, that's risky. Yeah, I think that's good. The blades are still in one piece. And we are good to go. So I'm gonna detach my blender. And now what I'm gonna do is strain all of these, pass them to a fine sieve to get rid of all of the pieces. I'll warm them up in the microwave, so heat it back to 75 degrees, and then I'll add in the milk chocolate and butter. So we'll be back once I strain all of them. Alright, so I've got a beautiful station here going on. I wanted to show you guys before I continue finishing off the rest of my 4 flavors. What I've done here is strained off the star anise, infused cream, and then I heated it up back on the induction so that it's hot enough to melt my chocolate that I've added. You can see it right inside, and also butter and chocolate, the expensive high quality cocoa berry chocolate. This one will be the strained cinnamon sticks added together with, again, the same amount of chocolate and butter. I still have the mint, cayenne pepper, the coffee, and the ginger left. So this is what I've been doing. I wanted to show you guys as well. So let's go with the ginger one. I'm gonna strain it first. I'll strain it directly into the pot so I save stuff for me to wash. Okay. There you go. Let's give it a little help so everything goes through the sieve, right? And my little garbage bowl on the table, very convenient. So I just want to heat it up until it starts to steam. While that's happening, in the same container, I'm going to scale chocolate, 300 grams of the milk chocolate, and 20 grams of butter. So now that our ginger infused mixture has been warmed up, we'll pour it over our chocolate so the heat will melt the chocolate, and you just let it sit on the table together with its other friends here. So I was actually the first version of this whole idea that I wanted to do for the event was not the spice version. Well, it was still spice, but what I wanted to do was the chocolate version of the spicy jelly beans from the Bean Boozled. They have the Bean Boozled jelly beans have a whole collection of games where it's a box of super spicy jelly beans, but they're not tasty spicy. They're painfully spicy with different chili peppers, habanero, ghost pepper, all of the stuff that goes from really low Scoville scale, which is the scale that you measure the spice at, to really, really high. You have the Carolina Reaper pepper as well, and you spin a wheel, lands on one of them, and you pick it up and you have to eat the jelly bean. So I was thinking of making that, but in bonbons, so each one having a pepper infused in it, and it goes more and more spicy. But then I was like, okay, I don't want the chefs to be afraid and not participate in the game, so that's why I went for a more palatable approach. But I think that's a really good game to have, like a chocolate roulette for peppers, right? And you have that in a nice box. You take it out for a game party night, and that's a really good game to sell in a pastry shop. Let me know in the comments if that's a good idea. This one smells the best so far. The coffee one. And this joins its last friends here. So all of them are melting slowly. I'll wipe up the table and I'll have the blending station ready. I will be back. Alright, so this is nice. We have everything nice and cleaned up, wiped down, fresh start. We'll start blending all of them. Let's start with the star anise. Okay, so I'll just place it at an angle so I don't want any bubbles inside. It does take a while for it to blend. There you go. We've got a really, really nice texture. See, it's nice and elastic, shiny. So that's when you know, one, your recipe is really good, and also when you use really good chocolate. Right, look at that texture, eh? That's really good. Okay, so I'm gonna blend all of the rest of them and then we'll be back. Alright, so I just got done blending all of the ganaches. So first of all, it's super shiny, right? That's from your chocolate, and of course the glucose gives it a nice elastic texture as well. It's beautiful, eh? So so the next step would be for me to spread out the ganache onto the trays that I have here. So start with the first one. So I want the same height as the tray, which is about 1 inch. So I just finished pouring all of the ganaches that we made onto the tray. So you might be like, Vijay, I only see 2 trays. with 2 ganaches, where are the rest of the 4 from the 6, right? But actually, if you come closer and look at the tray, I had to make do with the equipments that I have, so I don't have individual frames, so you can actually see the differences between 6 of them. So I have 3 on each tray. Now the next step will be to wait for it to set completely, and the only way to do that is actually not in the chiller, but actually leave it at room temperature overnight. So tomorrow we'll come back and we'll cut it into nice little 1-inch cubes like they do in Masterchef. So we are in a new kitchen now, different kitchen from the one I made the bonbons in, because we're making the second most crucial part to the whole challenge. I wanted to make the choice of the cubes, so which one the pastry chefs are gonna pick, completely random. So in order to do that, I can just use a let's say a random wheel that you spin, you put your ganache, your bonbons on top, and then you pick whatever the wheel points to. But I wanted to make it more fun, more in theme of chocolate, and make the entire contraption out of chocolate as well, including the ball bearings, which actually works and spins. So for that, my plan is this. So I have dark chocolate here, a lot of it, which I'm going to temper, and then after I temper the dark chocolate, I'm going to make 2 rings. So it's going to be a ring with a hole in the middle, and then on that ring I'm going to create an indentation. And then I'm going to use these silicone molds that I have, these small silicone molds, super tiny ones, to create chocolate spheres, which then I'll place on the ring, and then place another ring upside down on top, and that should create some kind of ball bearing situation, but completely functional and made of chocolate. And then I'll place the ganache cubes on top, and when you go and spin it, that will completely randomize the selection of the bonbon. Ball bearing mechanism right here, the functional one, and we got the different spiced bonbons on the box. And as I made it, it does spin, and the side that it points to will be the bonbon that you're going to try. And this is actually a functioning ball bearing, so you can hold it right there, give it a little spin, and whichever it points to is the bonbon you're going to guess.
I'm going to break that thing.
Oh, there you go. That's the one. All different.
Oh, it must be coffee. It's not coffee, it's cayenne.
Yes.
It comes here.
Yeah.
Ginger. Which one? The matcha or the
Ginger.
Yeah.
But can you tell me what all spices we have?
Actually, no.
Oh.
Okay, so that's the one you're going for.
And I'll just take it?
Yep. Go for it. Give it a bite, let it melt in your mouth, and then take a guess.
Ooh.
There it is.
Is it, I tasted some coffee.
Okay. So your final guess is?
Whoa, give me 1 second.
Okay, sure. No
Wow. Well, I do taste some coffee in it.
Okay. So the answer is coffee?
Oh, this could be cayenne.
Yeah. You're correct. Okay, there. Give it a spin. Awesome. So it looks like that one. You can grab that one. Try, let it melt in your mouth as well.
Gotta say, I'm not a pastry chef, so I'm
Star anise.
Star anise?
Okay. Give it a spin. It is a really difficult one. It's a difficult one.
star anise.
Is that a final answer?
Smells star anise.
You're going with star anise. It's star anise. Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's impressive, huh? That's awesome. So that one is yours. That one's mine. You can go for it. Yeah. And then over.
It's got heat to it.
Okay.
Not
You're on the right
made-
track. Which chili would you like to guess?
Oh. With chili?
Yeah, it's cayenne.
Oh, cayenne.
Cayenne. There you go. This one's spice. It is a spice.
Difficult.
Is it?
I think it's ginger.
Yeah. We'll give it a little bit more spread. There you go. Yeah. That's a difficult one. So far, no one's guessed that one. Star anise.
Was it?
Ginger. Yeah. Great. So that would be yours. Okay. Once it melts, it's gonna be quite strong.
It feels like it's a chili sort of spice, yeah.
Yeah. Which chili is it?
Like a cayenne kind of.
Cayenne? On the dot, yeah.
Is it?
Perfect.
Okay.
Cayenne. They all fly away. We've got like 8 people waiting for it. I'll give it a little spin. There you go.
It's not spicy, it's not mint.
Okay.
So I have this one.
That will be yours.
You know what it is?
Yep. So, well, there is 2 people who got the same one. I'm not going to say which one. That will be yours.
I'm tasting like
Ooh,
mine star anise. Well, that you should know right away, right?
basil.
Cayenne.
What will be your guess? Cayenne.
I'd still stick with Star Anise, but if it's not, then I don't know.
So both of you got the same one, and both of you got the same one.
I'm 55
Yours
years
is
old.
like-
One
My
final
taste buds are fried.
One final answer. One final answer.
Yeah?
Come on, Mark, help me.
Like,
Technically-
I don't do great with spicy food. So I feel like
Technically,
if it was
both of you
spicy, I would like-
are correct. You said something. You said basil, right? Parsley. So it was mint. It was mint. Mint.
This was mint.
Mint. And cayenne
Cayenne, yeah.
on the dot. That's correct.
Yeah?
Yeah, cayenne. And you got mint.
Spice tolerance and I...
Yep.
It's like a chili.
Yeah. Which specific chili would you like to guess?
Cayenne?
On the dot. Yeah.
Yeah?
Awesome.
Oh, sick.
Yeah. I have a way of telling which one's which. Nice. That's a beautiful. Okay. Oh, that's a difficult one. You both got the most difficult one.
Sichuan pepper.
Cayenne.
Cayenne.
Yes.
Star anise.
Yeah, that's correct. I thought they both got cayenne, but she actually got star anise.
Oh, okay, very
But
good.
she's the first person to get star anise. Everybody else who tried star anise never guessed it.
Star anise. 確かに濃いけど、言われたら、なんかその後に
Oh,